It's Friday, April 14th, 2023. And yeah, I haven't really taken a look at the markets today. Yesterday, I was saying that I think that today is probably going to be pretty volatile because yesterday was pretty sideways. And then also we had some reports coming out today. Today we have U.S. retail sales. We've got what else? Consumer sentiment. So that's also coming out. That actually just came out about a half an hour ago, and retail sales came out about at 5:30 this morning, so about 2 hours ago. So I have not taken a look at the markets at all. So let's go ahead and jump on in and see how things are stacking up. We're trading in two evaluations today. Looks like we had a really big rip at the open. So the open, we were at about 41.60. We ripped all the way up to 41.90. I should say 89 to be specific. And then fell off these highs all the way down to about 59, 58 as the low. And it looks like we're coming back some. There's a possible crossover at 12.26. 9 is still below the 12, but it looks like we're about to get a cyan switch. It's going to have to make it through the 50 and the 200, as well as the 35, along with the VWAP in order to get the sentiment back on bullish. But I don't think it's too far out of the question, given the movement that I can see right now. Honestly, there's a trade right there I totally could have taken, but didn't. Just because I'd rather take my time and look. There'll be more trade-offs. I don't need to grab every single one of them. 3-minute chart still on red on TTM. Been falling for a while. Going from 14.8 to 50.3. It looks like it's near a trend reversal. So a yellow candle on 3-minute chart would look really solid. Jumping up from 63 to 65, so that's looking good. Gonna take a look at the 5-minute chart. Five-minute has a 5,200 cross to the downside. So we may see some rejections here. 4.7 to 6.5 on the 5-minute chart. We'll see what happens in about 5 minutes. Take a look at the 15-minute chart. 15-minute doing a 5,200 cross and running way up. Yeah, just taking a look at the 30-minute chart. Interesting. This 30-minute TTM looked pretty decent, honestly. Look to 15-minute chart. 15 minutes still has the sell off on the TTM as well. All right, so jumping back to the 3, I think the 3 is going to be one of the biggest indicators of the trend reversal. Because I think that we're going to see it here on this TTM before we really see the full rip. 3-minute chart's got the 50 above the 200, but barely. Also, the 35 just crossed below 200. Wow, that tea is so enriching. Pretty big rejection there. This had run up to about 65. Rejected off the 12 EMA and pushed all the way down $10. That's just about $10. That's almost 40 tick move here. I mean, it is if you go all the way down to the bottom. From tail to tail, it's like 40 ticks. So it's quite a lot. Being as that's the case, I think that we're gonna keep we're gonna stay rolling down here for a while. See, this never got that 9-12 crossover that we look for a lot of the time for confirmation. And it looks like, my guess is while this candle was happening, it was crossed above on the existing candle. I might take a few trades in the simulator before I take anything in the evaluations. We're trading 2 evaluations today. I'm trading a 100K account on Elite Trader Funny and a 50K account on Apex. Apex is doing a 90% off sale right now. Yeah, you heard that right. 90%. So Apex is rocking is 90% off your first month, and then it's 80% off every month thereafter. So just to give some context as to what that looks like, if you can use Ninja Trader, it'll be even less expensive. Ninja Trader would be $167 a month before the discount, and Tradeovate is $187 a month before the discount on the 50K size. Obviously, you can go with any other size as well, but just to give some context on that, me personally, I would be looking at the Tradeovate one, and that means your first month is $18.70. And every month thereafter is $37.40. This is before tax. So you can get access to so it's 90% off your first month and 80% off every month thereafter. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, honestly, like I look at that and I'm like, wow, you're giving access to a 50K account for not even $50. It's just insane. Just woke up a few minutes ago. Hey, you know what? I did too right before the stream, honestly. Like, I was trying to get, like, every last minute I could. It's like I keep wanting to get up at, like, 5:30 or 6 to trade some stocks. And I only do that, like, a few times a week. Plus, I just kind of like being all, like, I've been awake for a while. It makes it easier to trade, in my opinion, for me. I haven't really checked the volume today. Volume's pretty good, like 4,000, 5,000. I said today would be volatile. We said it yesterday on the stream. I just kind of knew it, you know, like, when you have a sideways day, you almost always are followed up by a volatile day the next day. Pulling up to 4160. This doesn't say that it's pulling a 50 or a 1226 crossover soon, but I can look at it and see it is, even if the indicator's not firing. I'm gonna try to get in off 60 on the sim. Maybe I'll do like 60.5. I'm gonna try this on the sim. And it's not gonna happen. I just try to join the bid. I need some lotion. My hands are dry. Nice rip there. This actually looks like this could be the trend reversal. That would have been a nice trade. Gonna jump to this is Elite Trader Funding. the 20-second chart on the ES. And you gotta make sure we get to the right accounts. The new account is 100K. Join the bid at 63.75, one contract. And looking to get out of 64.50.
Order
All right,
filled.
we got that. Not bad. 31.92 for our very first trade of the 100K account. Our goal with this is $2,000. Gonna jump to Apex now. And Apex, we're on the ES. So this account, we're down $487 in this account. In total. Not on the day, but in total. Join the bid right here.
Order
in long
filled.
at 64.75. Just flashed a blue candle. I don't like that. My exit intended is 65.50. That's a big pullback. I'm out.
Order filled.
Well, that wasn't fun. We lost 190 on that one. So kind of a big pullback. I mean, we did see the blue candle like right after we got in, and I was like, all of a sudden, here's the scare, you know. This one on this side of the sim, we're in at 63.75, 1.3 to 1.8. Let's see, where is the 200 moving average on this 20-second chart? Okay, 200 moving average on the 20-second chart. So this did come back. Felt like I could have held it too, but you know, I'm trying my best to manage that risk. You know, our 5200 cross is really far off on the 20-second chart. If this, so we're at 62.18 or so, 62.20 to 71.11 on the 20-second chart for the 5200 cross. This 5200 cross is very accurate, and we can use it oftentimes to go long for a nice, really big rip. So I think it will be looking for that. It's pulling back a lot. So on our sim, our typical daily goal is about 2,000. We had a couple like $1,500 days this week, but 2,000 is kind of the goal every day. I'm gonna cut this. So that'll let us out whenever. 516.50 loss on that one. So we took a $200 loss, or 190 dollar loss, and our trailing max on this is at 1684. We're up in our static account, up 31.92. So we just got a ways to go. Trend reversal's not here yet. It does feel like it's inbound though. I'm really going to be watching for this 5200 cross. You can see the 200 just got below the VWAP on the 20-second chart. So this drop here, I think that we're going to see a pop pretty soon. I don't think this drop is going to last very long. I think that we'll pop back up. The 50 is at 61.65. Now it's at 61.55. So I want to see this 50 actually going up, not down. But as long as this 200 keeps going down, that's the main thing that I'm after. The main thing that I'm watching. So I think because of the volatility, there may be some opportunities to take like 5-tick trades or 6-tick trades. That doesn't seem too out of the question. I think 5 ticks is probably what I might want to go for. On both accounts. So we're gonna switch this over to 5 ticks because I think it's just a better place. Pulling all the way back down to the lows at 55.50. Actually just made a new low at 55.50. Not sure if that was what it is at before, but going back to the 3-minute chart here. So 3-minute actually did put in 2 yellow candles there, followed by a red on this last one, and then switched back to yellow. So this yellow was operating at 14.1, then this went to 14.2. Now we're at 13.9. So I don't think that, so I can see that we're stacking up on the TTM. So I do think that the trend reversal is on its way, just not here yet. I'm gonna put this on 12 ticks. I'm gonna join the bid since we're really down here at the lows. I think that we're pretty much at the low. I'm just gonna buy the market and just see what happens. All right, so we're in 56.75, a little high. Could have kept it on the bid, I guess. Getting a red to yellow on the 20-second chart.
Order
In
filled.
long, yeah, on Apex, 3 contracts. I'm going for 5 ticks. I want to pop up here to 57.75. Gonna really try to focus on managing my risk today. Sometimes I need to say that out loud to sort of bring it to my own attention that I need to make sure that I'm watching risk management every day. So I'm in at 56.50, but a slight rejection there at 57. GTM's at 4.2 on the 20-second chart. Like to see it get above 4. There's 3.7. I'm gonna take the profit there.
Order filled.
We got out at 57.25. We got in at 56.50. So that's like 3 ticks. We definitely should have held. I was waiting for the pop, and I think I got nervous right before the pop happened, like literally seconds before. So I think that we could have gotten more profit on that and gotten back to break even. I'm gonna jump to Elite Trader Funding now and pop this out. We'll try to get an entry
Order
at 59.75. We're in one contract at 59.75. It did just pull back though on us. 9 is above the 12 on the 20-second chart. I'm trying to get out at 61. Mild resistance there at 60.5.
Order filled.
Took it off the table. Made 2 ticks on that. Again, I took it off early. I hope that's not a theme for the day, but we're up 51.84 in or 51.34 in our static account. I definitely could have taken that full pop though. Our 200 moving average is getting a lot closer to our 20-second or to our 50 moving average here. I think a pullback to 60 would look really good, followed by a pop off that. What up, Kevin? Good morning. Good to see you here. Thank you, Tiny. I appreciate that. Yeah, like honestly, talking through my trades, I never did it before the stream, but I've learned so much since doing this stream. Just talking through my trades has really helped me to understand exactly what I am thinking when I go through it, and I trade way less emotionally now as a result of doing that. So it's really had this whole side benefit that I just never thought about when I started the stream. 9's above the 12. 9 and 12 are crossing above 35. So that looks good for continued upward move. I want to see the 35 though get above the 50. I think that would be valuable in just sort of aligning all the moving averages in the bullish form, and in doing so, I think that we would have a higher probability of a longer term breakout. I'm gonna join the bid here in the sim. I'm literally trading 3 accounts right now. I'm trading the sim on TOS. I'm trading Lead Trader Funding's static account. And I'm trading, this just ran right past. That's ridiculous. And I'm trading Apex as well. I'm going to put this at 60 just to hope to get in. This popped up really nicely here. Just checking the moving average positions. 9 is above 12. 9 is getting above 35. It was already above it, but okay. 9 and 12 are crossing 50, so that's one thing that we want to see. But I want to see this 35 cross 50 because I think that will help solidify this upward move. 50 EMA is at 59.81. 200 SMA is at 166.81. So we've closed about $4 in gap since this last trade over here. So we've closed pretty heavily on the gap there. We did make back about $100 from our loss. I definitely could have got a bit more, actually quite a lot more, but let's see, what was this entry? 56.50, and what did this top at? 61.75. That's a 20 tick move. So I really should be going more for like 7 ticks, just under half of the size of the moves. On the 100K account, we're up $51. We have a $2,000 profit target on this. So not bad. We're 2.5% to goal on our first day at the moment. Getting some drop down there. It never got that 35 crossing above 50. This is why I look for these moving average crossovers, because what they're really doing is confirming direction. When this 35 gets above 50, I'm pretty certain that will help confirm the direction of being upward and continuous movement. I don't really like taking shorts all that often unless they're just super obvious to me. Like this short here, this drop would have been a pretty decent one as far as the TTM is concerned, but the moving averages would not have been obvious to me, and that's really because like this rejected off the 50 EMA. I think that the area that this would have become obvious to me would have been right here, but then it's on a hammer candle. So I think that, I might have taken a short here, possibly on this one. And that would have been because the 9 dipped below the 12. But shorts can be really fickle, where they make a tiny little move and then they just rip the opposite direction. And I guess longs can do the same, but I've personally experienced it a lot more frequently with shorts. But they say ride the elevator down, take the stairs up, and I think that's true to a pretty large degree. 200 moving average is at 65.42 on the 20-second chart, and the 50 EMA has been steadily hanging around 58, 59 area. So that's 58.75-ish right now, and against 65. So we're about a $7 difference now, as opposed to about, 5-10 minutes ago, we were at a $10 difference. So it's definitely getting closer and closer for a trend reversal. I think we might see a trend reversal around 8:15. Currently at about 8:04, 8:03. So we're at the top of the hour. It's actually 8:05. There's a yellow candle there on the 20-second chart. I'm going to jump to apex side. And I'm going to jump to TOS. TOS on the 3-minute has been steady, putting in CTM yellows. Let's see, 12.3 to 10.8 to 9.7. This one's at 8.8 now. We are in a trade here, which we're down almost $500. Our exit or our entry here was at 60, and our intended exit was at 63. So it was a 12 tick intention. We're down about 12 ticks too. 9.7 to 8.8 on the CTM3. Just gonna check how much y'all's. You're in 41.53.75 with risk to 41.57.75 and target at 41.53 or lower if possible. Good luck. All right, so we're getting a pop up here towards 60. 9 is above that 12. Join the bid
Order
long
filled.
3 contracts at 58.25. I'm looking for that cyan switch right there. I'm looking for a move up to 60. Currently, I'm in 3. This is on apex side. 9 is above the 12 on the current candle. Finished at 22nd on a doji. And I'm looking for a full 7 tick move up to 60, 41.60. We tapped 59.75.
Order filled.
Join the bid at 58.50 on one contract on Elite Trader funding side as well. I think I might be taking too many trades. And so I think on Elite Trader funding side, I'm going to put this at 59. Just go for like 2 ticks. Ooh. I am taking too many trades. I'm trying to trade too many different accounts at once.
Order filled.
So Elite Trader funding filled. I got out of just a single ticket profit, which is nice. You know, I'm grateful for that. I'm gonna take the profit off on this. It did hit 60.
Order filled.
So I took it off early by 2 ticks. Still got a pretty decent trade on there. 58 to, so I got like 5 ticks. We're up 91.50 in Apex, and we're up 58.26 in Elite Trader funding. I definitely could have traded this better, and this was basically because I can clearly see that I'm over trading with 2 accounts right now, back and forth, and then I'm also trying to manage the sim as well. So I think I'm just doing too many things. 8.7 to 7.4 on the TTM3. This is looking very good for a incoming trend reversal. 200 moving average is now at 62.93, and 58s remain pretty steady. Or sorry, 50s remain pretty steady at 58. Nine is above 12. Both of them are above 50 EMA, and the 35 is getting really close to that approach to the 50 EMA. An entry off of like 59 or maybe like 58.75 looks pretty good, which would be right, basically a bounce off the 50 moving average. For the static account, I'm gonna probably keep it at like 3 ticks as my goal. For the Apex account, I'll be a little bit more willing to take some swings. The static account has a really low drawdown amount. It's only 625 bucks. So I don't want to take, really large swings and then end up, just killing my account real fast. So I'm going to take smaller scalps on the on that one. Been kind of ignoring the 1 minute chart. $7.3 to 5.6 on the TTM3. TTM3 is getting a possible crossover. I think that this trend reversal is very close to being inbound. 1 minute chart getting a cyan switch there. So that also looks good. 1 minute chart, 9's above the 12. We're very close to a 12.26 crossover. So I think some entries along 60, 59.75, like that area, I think look really good. There's a 12.26 crossover right now in the current candle. Watch out for resistance at 62.25. That was a bounce off the 9 moving average there at 60.5. Kind of missed this move, mainly because I was checking in the 1 minute chart. You know what I mean? So, and this is all messed up. There we go. I think we have room up to this 200 moving average right there at about 69. You can see some pullback off 62 and a quarter. Whoa! Whoa! Dang, someone just dumped all these contracts. Bear in mind, this is a 20-second chart. So 20-second chart, someone just dropped 5,000 contracts in 20 seconds. Yo, that's a shady move. I'm so grateful we didn't take that, take this trade. Like I said, I mean, I was like, I think we got room up at 6,250. We rejected right at 6,250. That was literally the exact dollar amount I said that we might have rejection. That's crazy. All right, so these are only about $2 apart now. The 50 EMA and the 200 moving average. I don't think that rejection is going to kill nothing. But on the 1 minute side, we do need to see a 1 minute candle, I think, to make a new high, and really just putting all the crossovers in the proper place. Wow, I can't believe this pulled back that much. Shady move there. So on that minute, it was 8,000 contracts. I wish I had the time and sales up just to see that. Just to see that drop through like that. Dude, that was crazy. I do have a new playlist of music that I just haven't played on here. Y'all want to hear it? Proves to the point. They drop contracts like they're going short, but then they go up. Yeah. That was a lot of resistance there, man. I was kind of shocked, honestly. We got a new playlist. I only put together like 13 tracks. I'll be playing it off the site though. All this music from Epidemic Sound. I'll be playing it off the site though, and sometimes, if you guys remember, the player was a little weird on the site, which is why we ended up going back to Windows Media Player like it's 2006. But I also never get lag off Windows Media Player, which is dope. You know, it's just like smooth. So while that logs in, I'm just gonna take this. So 3 minute ended on a doji, and 3 minutes going from 7.3 to 5.7 to 4.3 on the TTM3. Here we're at 8:15, which is where I said I think the trend reversal might be around this time, 8:15 to 8:30. So I think this window here over the next 15 minutes is gonna look pretty sharp in terms of a potential trend reversal. 5 minutes actually in its very first yellow candle, going from 50.7 to 50.6. It's not really a much of a move, and this could easily just go right back red at that point because this is just really close. 15 minute is a ways out, but a 15-minute yellow candle on the TTM would look really solid for a move possibly pass through VWAP at that point. So we're pulling back some. I want to see the 26 simple still continue to decline. 9 is dipping below the 12. I probably need to cut this trade. I mean, honestly, I've been in this trade for a very long time, and it's the best part of it. I think I already passed, which was 62.50, and I was trying to get out at 63. So on this one, and that's why I said I think I'm managing too many different trades at once. I might just use the sim as a chart right now and stop trading in it. I think that this is not a bad idea. Going long at 4160. Again, no advice, obviously. We all know that, that's not how this works. But yeah, I mean, I personally think it's a pretty decent bit of info, or pretty decent strategy, personally. Bit of info. Just saying random words like, okay, so this is the new playlist that I've been working on. There's 4160, and the TCM has stacked up 1.4 on that move, so that that actually does it pretty good. Watch out for resistance at 6105, which is the 200 moving average on the 20-second chart. Nine is above the 12 on the 22nd. And that's crossed above the 35 just crossed above the 50, actually. I just noticed that. Need some pullback here to 59.50. I'm tempted to take like a bounce trade here off of like 59.50, and maybe I should have. We're very close to a science switch on the 20-second chart too. I haven't taken this trade because, and like I said, maybe I should have, but I didn't take it really because we don't have the 1226 crossover, and we've seen some really heavy rejections today. So because of those heavy rejections, I'm a little hesitant myself that I may want to actually wait for this crossover to happen, but it might just happen, and yeah, I definitely should have taken that trade. Join the bid on that pullback to 60.75. I'm gonna try to get out at 61.50. Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about, man. These pullbacks are just heavy today. Dang, man. I might need to cut this. It puts me down in my 100K. You know, I felt weird about this trade too, man. I can't take any more loss than this. This is the max loss. Yeah, I'm out.
Order filled.
That sucks. So that was a loss of 137.50. So that eliminates my profits, puts me in red territory on the static account. I should have waited for the full crossover, like I said that I was going to, but I think I got FOMO because I called this trade here and didn't take it. And I believe that's what happened. And so as a result, I ended up taking, like, buying high and sell low. This never was. That's the worst strategy. So it happens though, 9 is below 12. 35 is still above 50, but they're on the same. 50's at 59.31, and the 200 moving average is now at 60.5. And we did get that resistance pretty close to that level that I said that we would. It's just that it ended up being, well, I said resistance at 61.50. We entered at 60.75, and it had already rejected down. TTM going from 4.5 to 3.2 to 2.6. Is the music really loud, by the way? Let me know if the music's loud. Let me know if the music volume is okay, because I'm not using the same music player, so the in-system audio is going to be different. By the way, do you like the tracks though so far? I forgot I even put this on here. I started building this in like February or something. I'm always doing so many different things in my life though at any given time. Music seems good. Cool. All right. $2.4 to 2.3 on the TTM. So the TTM's kind of leveling off. That I don't like that level off on the TTM, honestly. And if you notice, there's a red candle showing there on the 3-minute side. We're coming up on 8:30, so we may get the 8:30 volume push. I'm gonna cut this trade. I mean, I should have cut this thing a long time ago. All right, that trade's over with. I'm gonna reassess this, and I'm gonna go for like 15 ticks since we're all the way down here at 55. I'm gonna join the bid down here. All right, we're in a 54.50, and I'm gonna try and ride this up all the way up towards 60 again. But we're down near the lows. Went long, and of course it goes all the way down to Tiny's location, down there at 53. Tiny, you called it. Yeah, yellow candle. I think this might be like a downward push and then a rip back up on top of that. But new lows on the day at 52.50. We entered long on our sim at 54.50. We're not going to watch that one too closely. I'm mainly focused on the evaluations. Little resistance at 55. I don't think that resistance is going to last very long though. We are about almost exactly $2 away from a 5,200 cross. The 50's been working its way down, but the 200's been coming with it, and the 200's been getting closer and closer. So that gap has been closing and closing. I do think that we're going to get a very large rip soon. Rip to the upside, I should say. VWAP's up there at 69.05. VWAP's been pretty steady. So I think that we're going to get a very, very, very big rip. I think that we can expect something like 20 ticks, maybe even up to 40 ticks. But I think that move it's soon, but it's not here yet. Now, of course, that might not be the case if we just get dumped down on with contracts, but I think I feel differently about that. So a double doji on the 22nd, which I don't really give a ton of credence to. GTM's at 2.2 on the 22nd chart. And kind of rejecting along the 12 EMA at the moment. I want to go long for a move up towards that 50 moving average, but I don't know that I'm there yet. I think I want to wait for the 912 confirmation crossover. I'm going from 2.1 to 2.0. This is like really close, like almost flat. 3-minute chart is still kind of selling off some. There's a little pop. I'm gonna wait for that 912. 50 EMA is at 56 and 200 is at 59. So the gap actually widened on the 5200. So that does not look good for a further long move or that trend reversal that we've been talking about. You definitely do not want the 200 moving and the 50 moving to be diverging right now. You want them to be converging. I want some coffee, man. I'm out of tea, but I want some coffee. Maybe I could talk the wife into floating down some coffee. So you see I'm going to 1.0. Now to 0.7. I don't know, man. It looks like it's gonna test up to here to like 56, but there's just too much risk in it for me. Like I want to take the trade, but it's just too much risk. Yeah, right? Do we ride this up or down? I think it's going to be more of an up than a down, honestly, but I could just be overly optimistic. I do have a Discord community called Optimistic Futures, you know what I mean? 56.19 on the 50 and 59 and a quarter on the 200 moving average. It's really, honestly, it's like the 200 moving average moving, like the divergence between these two is actually what's giving me a lot of pause. Because this just ran sideways along like the 50, like with 55 as resistance. And I never took this trade because the 9 never got above 12. But I want to go for like 7 ticks. I think this is going to run up towards 56 if this crossover happens. But without it, it's just not gonna happen. There's a new low there at 52 and a quarter. Now at 52. ES is down $20 on the day. So we're just waiting. I don't think that this downtrend can hang out here all day long. There is a bear flag though on the 3-minute side. Okay, it's looking a little better now. 200 moving average has dropped down to 55.62. So now we have a $4 divergence on these. It's a nice pop up there. I just kind of missed that move. I don't feel FOMO about it though, because I wouldn't have taken it anyway. Because the things that I was looking for just never happened, at least not yet. They're happening on the current candle, which is pulling back some, which I don't mind the pullback. I actually think the pullback is useful. It's pulling back to 56, and 50 EMA is at 55 and some change, while the 200 is finally moving back down, and that's at 59. Running into resistance at the 50 EMA, which has happened several times. 9's above the 12, and we did get a 1226 crossover, which is honestly what I was trying to see. There's also a cyan switch here, but these haven't been lasting very long today, which you can see right here. It's like 3 cyans followed by a sell-off, and so I can't really trust this, and so I'm not going to. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, this really is the move right here. It's like pre-cross. And so I can't really trust it, and that's why I'm not going to. I'm still waiting on that 5200 cross, which I think now I'm putting it 15 minutes out from now. As we get closer to the top of the hour, we finally got a new 3-minute candle that is yellow though. So we had 9 minutes of red on the TTM. So this one had ended at 2.494, and we're at 3.0 now. So this sell-off that was in here didn't really affect the TTM3 very much. And new one's coming up at 2.7. So this is looking pretty decent now. 50 EMA is at 55.55, and 200 is at 58.86. Tried to join the bid there at 56 or 55.75 and didn't get the entry. I might move up my basis.
Order filled.
Join the bid long at 56. Man, this rejects the moment I get in, man. Come on. Man, that's what I'm saying. I just can't trust
Order
the
filled.
move. I'm done trading in the 100K. I'm gonna shut this down for the day, because I don't want to try and put myself back in that position where I'm trying to come back and all that. But we'll still trade in the Apex account, which is up $91. We'll still trade in this account, but I don't think I should take any longs anymore at all until this crossover happens. So being as that's the case, I might just be sitting here for a while. Sometimes that's just how it goes, though. I'm gonna open up my door. It's a little bit hot in here again, probably hitting 80 degrees or something. Yeah, 81 degrees. It gets hot in here, man. My little clock behind me like flashes through the time, the date, and the temperature. And it's just measuring obviously the temperature of the room, but it's Let's see if I can find the code for the Apex 90 off. There are no special links or coupon codes for it. So y'all can just actually use the coupon code that I believe is already in the description. Um, I'll double check that though, just to be totally sure. You know what? It's not. So I'm actually gonna just update the description with the code. The link is there, and that'll I think that'll already hook you up with a discount. But 1 second. Let's see. Let's see. Wish they would like allow us to just create our own coupon codes. All right, I'm gonna drop the Apex coupon code. So I'm gonna put it in the chat here. So there it is in the chat. I know it's a funky coupon code. I'll communicate with them and see if I can get a nicer code. It was a little easier. Um, but that code right there will give you 90% off for the first month and 80% off every month thereafter. Let's jump back into the charts. We're still riding these lows. We have had a new low at 51.50. I'm still hanging out in this trade here. We're not down much in it, but basically I was trying to get out of $59 in this trade. Which I think is reasonable. We have pretty heavy resistance at 41.60. We're still getting continued divergence there on the 5200 on the 3-minute side though, which doesn't look very good. Also, we got even further divergence on the 20-second chart of the 5200. That divergence is like, we don't want to see that, man. Like, we want to see these get closer and closer together, the 50 and the 200, because that'll really indicate that trend breakout, you know. Nine and 12 are like in the same spot. It's a lot of waiting around for me today. We have taken some trades. We are up $91 in Apex. Unfortunately, we were green like $70 or $60 or something like that on our 100K static, and we took 2 trades that put us down $200. So unfortunately, and risk management is the name of the game. So I'm trying to just go slow on all of this. If it takes 30 days, it takes 30 days. If it takes 50 days, it takes 50 days. No big deal, right? Just keep on keeping on, keep moving forward. About to get a cyan switch on this. 9's below 12 though. It's really like it's the 50 moving average moving downward is what gives me pause we're going long. Going down, tapping those lows again at 51.50. This is a double bottom there. It was 51.50, then, well, now it's 51.50 and a quarter. But it's basically a double bottom on the 20-second chart. Kind of a double bottom here on the 3-minute side as well. It's been kind of finding support there along 52, and the support's been pretty consistent. You heard your posts? Yeah. All right. There's that cyan switch. This is the power of the TTM, man. I mean, that's like 10 ticks right there. A nice trade. Pull back on this one, and then the next one will be a pop and drop. Just a guess. I don't know for sure. So 2 seconds. New candle. Nine's above 12. Got a 12.26 crossover there. Got a cyan. We've been seeing basically like 3 to 5 cyan candles followed by a drop, like a big drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Drop. This is candle 4. 200 moving average is finally coming down at 57.70. So this gap is starting to close finally. Is that the whole playlist? It might be, because it's pretty short. It's only 13 tracks. Or it might just be that it's doing that thing that it was doing, which is the whole reason why we started playing with this media player to begin with, which is exactly what it's doing. Where it just has this like long pause in between tracks. It's like 15-20 seconds. Yeah, I can loop tracks. And like usually I just loop the whole thing, but like when you play from the web browser, like it'll play a track, and then when it goes to load the next track, it's like sometimes 30 seconds before the next track plays. It's crazy. And it's not I don't think it's my internet connection, because I mean I do have a gig down. I mean, it's not like it's like amazing internet, but it's a gig down is still pretty decent. You know, like obviously there's so many factors that goes into actually getting a real gig down, and it's not really real. It's more of a marketing thing, but nonetheless, I mean, you know, the speed is still pretty decent and consistent. Watch out for the resistance there at 55, like 55.50. We've hit it several times. There's a blue candle, so we may get a dump again. Every blue candle that I've seen on here has dropped down to like a lot. Might not be the case this time, because we're actually approaching this 5200 cross, but I'm gonna zoom out on this chart here real fast. VWAP's now at 68. There it is, man. There's that drop. Not a major drop though. This one went from 55 and a quarter down to 54. It's like 5 ticks. It's a hell of a lot less than these other ones that we were seeing that was dropping like $3. There it is. There's our friendly bear trap that we're used to seeing. Uh, 200 moving out. I haven't taken that many trades this last 45 minutes, and it's really just because I've just been waiting for setups that fit my strategy. This one here was one that did fit, and I think I've been sitting around too long, and I just kind of missed it. So this one actually did fit the strategy. You see the 9 got about 12, and then there's 1226 crossover there. And there was plenty of room left in that move. But I'm so hesitant to take much of anything now without getting this crossover. And I say that because at least this one would give us a lot of solid, like, in my opinion, a pretty solid confirmation of a real upward trend reversal. Oh yeah, I found this song. I thought this song was really fun. Currently about $3.50 difference between the 5,200. By the way, make sure y'all like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. Really does help the channel. It's kind of fascinating. Like, I built a digital marketing business some years back, and we didn't really do that much with YouTube. Like, we would do a lot of, like, I actually did live streams back then, like 2014, 2015, and into like 2016. I would do live streams every Wednesday. I didn't really put that much effort into building YouTube. I put out a couple of videos. A lot of it was like content that was motivational content or like mindset content, and all those videos are all just they're no longer on my account anymore. Took them all down, but I didn't really put that much emphasis on growing my YouTube. It's kind of different now. Like, I didn't have to, because I mean we grew like email lists. We did a lot of website traffic type stuff, and it's kind of fascinating now, actually trying to develop a YouTube channel and getting to learn and understand what does what and what affects what. So like when people like your channel, what it does is it exposes it to other people. YouTube looks at it as sort of like okay, this person liked it. Here's somebody else with similar interests. They might also like it. And so it kind of pushes it that way. And interestingly enough, if there's a dislike as well, it does the same process. And so you can get these videos that get like a lot of dislikes on them, and they'll still keep getting traffic, and they'll still keep getting views, and they'll still keep growing your channel, funny enough. And so it's just kind of interesting to watch this stuff and actually engage with it. For me, I find it interesting because I'm a nerd. I'm especially an entrepreneurial nerd. Like I'm a nerd for it. Like I geek out over EBITDA, and I geek out over P&Ls and stuff like that. I do, because there's so much that you can learn and understand from numbers. They all tell a story. And like if I look at this week on my Apex trading, I can see that I'm basically 70-30 on my accuracy. Like I got 71.5% accuracy on the wins, 26% on the losses, and then there's a variable there, which is break-even trades, which I don't normally get those, but they are there. But I'm basically 70-30 accurate. And when I went over my numbers from last month, it was also 70-30 accurate. The month before that, I was like 65-35. The month before that, I was like 75-25. And so I'm pretty much consistently at 70-30. So I can reasonably bet that 70% of my trades are going to pay off, while 30% are going to lose. And being as that's the case, I just need my 30% to be less of a loss than my 70%. So I just need my 70% to make more consistent profit. 9's above 12. Let's see if we can add this one to the 70% here. Nine's above 12. We're approaching a 1226 cross. 50 is still moving downward. Divergence is $3. So might get a pullback here. I don't want to take a trade until I see that 1226 cross. If I see that, then I'll take a long. I might even take a long on the on this one here though, just because it's a cyan candle. And I'm gonna join the bid.
Order
I'm
filled.
in long 3 contracts at 52.75. I'm gonna look to get out at 54.50. So that'd be a 7-tick move. Might be a little ambitious, but there is a cyan switch here. No 9 is above 12, but no 1226 crossover yet. Currently sitting at break even on this trade at 53.75. Pulling back down to 52. Trailing max is at 1850. I don't like that rejected. That 9 got below the 12, and then this rejected off of the EMA 35. I don't like that rejection there. Obviously, like, I don't like being down in any trade, but for the movement itself, that's kind of sketchy. Well, not sketchy, but I mean, it's just normal movement. But for my own trade that I'm currently in, it presents a lot of risk. Stopped at 50. I'm going to put this exit here at 53.50. We're kind of making new lows. This is a big drop. I think I'm giving back. I've already given back all my gains on the day. Staying in this trade at the moment because of the hammer candle, the doji at the bottom. There's a good amount of buy orders there. I think 54 is reasonable. Bumping it up at 54. 54.50 was my original exit. We put it down at 53, and I'm like, I think I can go to 54 on here. Or I put it at 53.50. I think I can go to 54 because I actually do think that this crossover is going to take place, and then we're going to pop here. But getting a red on the TTM. This crossover is so close. Everything is all like in a very like somewhat scary state. 54 is the intended exit. That's where that candle closed, but no fill.
Order filled.
There it is. That was kind of a scary trade. We're up $270 on the day now in Apex. It was a little bit of a scary trade because of this drop down here. And honestly, it made a new low off that. So I mean that's a scary trade. 200 moving average pulling down to 56.17, while the 50 EMA is at 53.25. Putting together, you can see a little cup and handle here. There's the cup. So the handle, I would expect this to pull back to the 9 EMA and bounce off the 9 EMA, with 9 and the 50 are at the same location. Stopped out. Sorry to hear that. Okay, so that was it. What did you think of the new playlist? Let me know your thoughts on the new music. Pop it up here to 54.50, 54.75 area, now 55. We have availability up to 56. I'm not going to take this trade though. 9, 12, and so we got the 9, 12 cross. We got 12, 26 cross. We're about to get a EMA 35 cross, and we're $2.50 away from a 5200 cross at the top of the hour. So our trend reversal is likely coming in at 9:30 area, 9:15, maybe even 9:05. So now we're gonna wait for the 5200 cross. You can see there's a lot of resistance here at that 5550, and that has been a major point of resistance all day. In fact, I'm gonna draw a line in. There it is. You see that resistance breakout, or that resistance decline there. At a 5550. Does anybody know how to extend the line all the way to the, like, just completely horizontal all the way to the right and all the way to the left on Trade of 8? Just a question. Rejected exactly at the 200 SMA on the 20-second chart. I've been really digging trading on the 20-second chart. I had never done it for a long time. One of our members in the Discord community mentioned that they do, that they trade on like a 10-second chart. I tried on the 10-second chart. It was just too challenging for me. And I put it out to 20 seconds. And I started noticing trends right away on it, and trade opportunities right away. And I've been trading with it for the last like 6 weeks, and I really like it. I can get pretty accurate trades. My accuracy hasn't suffered on the 20-second chart, but I get far more opportunities. So I can trade more frequently with more confidence, as opposed to trading on the 1-minute chart, which I was doing a lot of before. In the 10-second chart, just I couldn't do it. It was too much fluctuation for me and too much questions. But the 20-second chart I've been really happy with. 50 EMA down here at 54, and 200 at 56. So about $2 divergence right now. All right, I think that this is actually going to be the trend reversal. We may kind of chop out in this area for a little bit, and we possibly might rip before the crossover. And so, you know, I think that I'm still gonna wait for the crossover before I take the trade, though, because I really want that confirmation. There's also some decline there. Well, there's a lot of decline there. There's also some decline there on the TCM, so we still might get some rejections. This is what I was about to say before I could even finish my sentence. We rejected heavily off of that. So that was at 55.75, ripped downward with somebody dumped like 4,500 contracts right here. So this just ripped down like $3. I still think that this trend reversal is inbound. I think it can only hold off for so long. It's exactly $2 apart on the 5,200 cross. Did we get the full 7 on this? I don't think we did. 52.75 to 54. So we got 5 ticks on this one. That was a good move. Yeah, trading on the 20-second chart, I mean, like, it seemed really, like, kind of overwhelming to me at first. Like, to be honest, like, it seemed really overwhelming to me. Like, it seemed really hyper fast. But then I just started noticing, like, my strategy applies very well to the 20-second chart. So I didn't have to change anything other than the time frame. And so, like, I'm still doing the exact same thing. I'm waiting for a red to yellow, and taking trades off and off the red to yellow, taking trades on the cyan switch, and I'm taking the 9-12 cross, taking the 12-26 cross. So I'm literally taking the exact same trades that I would take on a longer time frame chart. It's just I get to do it more frequently. And I don't know. It seems straightforward to me as a result of that. Just because, and only because, it matches my strategy exactly. So if a lot of these things didn't play out the same way that they do on the 1-minute chart, I would not know what to do here, and I'd be lost. And I don't think I would trade this well at all. 200 moving average is pulled down to 55.71, while the 50 EMA is maintained at about 54, currently at 53.96. So our difference now, our divergence is roughly $1.50. I'd say it's closer to $1.75 now. So that divergence, so long as it continues to get closer and closer together and begins to converge, I think that will be all right. Making new lows, massive drop. They're like, no, it can't trend reverse on us. Massive drop down there to 48.25. They're on that super bear trap today, man. They're like, no, we must push the price down. I still think it's gonna hold around 41.50. I could be wrong. If I pull out some longer time frames, obviously we're down like so much in this trade. On the sim. That is not good risk management. But I mean, we made like $6,000 or $7,000 this week in the sim, and so being as that's the case, I'm just kind of letting it ride because I think it will play out. It's just a matter of when. Five minutes been putting in yellow TTM candles for a while, which means that we are getting some accumulation on this bottom area. But you know, it's a long way out if it plays out at all. We went from 9.6 to 8.3 to 7.79 to 7.76 on the current candle. So the current 5-minute candle. So it's kind of at flat on that. At flat on that. Yeah. I think that we're gonna need to hold above 50. I don't really like that the lower band of the VWAP continues to drop, because that indicates that we could continue to drop, and the range on the VWAP is huge. I mean, the range of the VWAP, I mean, this is up here at 41.85, versus this one down here all the way at 41.48. So I mean, it's like a $40 range on the View app today. Just huge. I mean, it's an insane range. 5 minutes still stacking up though. At 9:05. We'll have a new 5-minute candle here in about 10 seconds. So I'm going to watch that and see what's up with this. So that's at 55.20. This is at 52.50. So that gap widened again off of this drop here. Nice pop back up though. So the new candle, so we went from 7.79 to 7.3. So kind of modest move there to 6.7, which is actually a pretty decent amount of movement to go from 7.3 to 6.7. But it is pulling down to 6.8, and there's still 5 minutes left in this candle. This is a fresh one, so so there is still the potential for this to continue to sell off. Boom, 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 There's a lot of contract dump there. I mean, you can see like there was 15,612 on that 5-minute drop there, versus the most of our 5-minute candles have been like 6,500, or sorry, 3-minute. So it's 15,612 in 3 minutes. Whereas most of our 3-minute candles have been like 6,500, 7,500. So this is double the volume on this particular candle. Not a bad day though. I'm a little miffed about the static evaluation, but we still have 400 some odd bucks available in drawdown there. So we still have a pretty strong opportunity to be able to come back on that account. And on our Apex trading today, I'm really happy with it. I think we've done a good job. I think, what's our accuracy rating today? We took one loss. So 75.25. We've only taken 4 trades. Really haven't taken that many trades today. We have taken a total of 20 contracts on 4 trades. How's that even possible? We're taking 3 contract trades. I didn't trade any micros today. Weird. Our loss was pretty large. It was 187.50. Gratefully, we've been able to have more gains than losses, and had our gains be pretty good size. So our gains were 112.50 for one, and 187.50 for 2 of them, and we had a loss of 187.50. So these two basically canceled each other out. And so we got this 187.50 plus this 112.50. So before any fees, our gross P&L is 187.5 plus 112.5. So gross P&L is 300, which obviously I didn't even need to do that math because it was just right up here at the top. But you know, sometimes I just like doing it, I guess. You factor in our 30 bucks in fees. That's how we get to 270. This is coming up on a cyan switch here. Our last cyan switch was this trade, which worked out pretty well. Our 200 moving average has come down to 54.86, but our 50 moved down with it. And so because our 50 and 200 have been at $3 apart together all day, you know, I mean, this doesn't. When will the trend reversal happen? Will it happen? Especially because every time that we're about to, the exact amount of contracts comes in enough to push that 50 EMA back down so that they begin to diverge from each other in the opposite direction. It's obviously very much a bearish day, and I think that was evident when we came in on the day. We could see that this was in the highs, and we're ripping down off the highs. A lot of the time when you get these rips all the way up to these major highs, you get a correction to the downside. And I think it's normal, but Uh, but it doesn't make trading fun or easy for that matter. But no one ever said trading was easy, and nothing ever worth doing, honestly, ever really is easy. So here I am just pontificating. I haven't even checked in with y'all in a while. By the way, if y'all are chilling, hanging out, make sure you like and subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. I do really much, very much appreciate. I really much appreciate y'all. I very much appreciate you hanging out, and kicking it with us, trading with us, and whatnot. This trade here is just not working out. Um, I still think that it will, but it's like a matter of when. At the end of the day, you know, who has the time? Hitting our daily risk there at 2000 though. And now with that 200 moving average coming down to 54.50, that's the entry of our previous trade there on that sim. So new low here at 47.75. We're hanging out just below 50 at 48. EMA 50 on the 200 or on the 20-second chart is all the way down to 41.50, while the 200 has worked its way down to 54.50 area. So that divergence, man, like this means a lot. This crossover section here is really, honestly, it's like one of the most important things that I've found in my trading. Just on this 20-second chart here, there's so much validity to that crossover that I honestly, if I can figure out how to code a bot for Tradeovate, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to look for a bot on, like, I'm going to look for the ability to create an automated trader on Tradeovate. I need to understand some JavaScript and some other aspects of things. But the parameters I'm going to look to do is on the 20-second chart, a 5200 cross on long. So it'd essentially be an entry right here in this area and an exit right here in this area, which on this particular section would have gone from $67.50 to $75. And then I could program it to take profit up here if it hits a certain percentage or a certain tick difference. And so that's something I'm genuinely looking into, and I have a lot of irons in the fire, so I'm always doing a lot of different things. And typically, anytime that I've done that, it's taken a couple of months, sometimes even a year or two, to develop a lot of these things, and then kind of get this sort of full, this sort of convergence of all things, kind of like 5200 cross, and then you see this nice big expansion, and that's what I'm working on with a lot of this stuff. But I'm learning that right now, and I think it's probably going to be a while. Obviously, I'm going to test it at a simulator before I ever put it on a live account. Make sure everything's dialed in perfectly. But that's something I'm working on. How's my sons and wife's trading going? It's going okay, like in terms of the education aspects of things. My son sat down, he did a little bit of trading on my terminal. And he made $300 on the sim. So but I was kind of being like, okay, well, based off of movement, where might our entry be? And I was like coaching him the whole time, like standing over his shoulder. My wife is more before she ever does any sort of like action, she wants to like learn a lot, like learn, and then take a little bit of action, and then learn a lot. Like she's a very detail oriented person, and yeah, I'm kind of more of like an action. I learn by trial, so I learn by doing a lot of the time. Like I'll try something, break it, and then try it again, fix it a little bit, but still have a broken component, and then I'll just keep going and going and going until I actually get to a point to where I understand what does what and why it does what and all those things. And I will also do a lot of learning and a lot of research, but I like learn and then do. Um so that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah, family trading affair. Yeah, exactly. My hope is to educate a lot uh in any capacity and continue learning a lot, um so that there becomes an understanding of the microeconomics of like trading as well as the macroeconomics of like what's going on in the news and why, um as we move closer and closer to uh sort of the changing world order. If you've ever watched the Principles by the Ray Dalio video, uh, if you guys have not watched Ray Dalio's animated videos, oh my gosh, dude, watch those. Like Ray Dalio, if you guys don't know who he is, he runs Vanguard. I don't know if he still actively runs it, but he started the Vanguard Fund, which is one of the most profitable hedge funds on earth. And he's basically a social media YouTuber now, for the most part. I say YouTuber because a lot of his content comes out on YouTube because it's long. Sometimes his animated videos are like 45 minutes, but he has a complete explanation of the economic cycle. Highly recommend that one. I can't recommend that content enough. He has an app called Principles, which I also recommend checking out, um, because there's a lot of education there, and the education that's there is educating about how these systems work, how how these charts work. It educates not about a strategy per se, but sort of the gears, the components, the levers and gears that make this whole system function, and also sort of some predictions about what's coming in the future. And I think it's really, really just very interesting content. I personally, without getting political, I personally believe that we as a if if you're not an American, then this may not apply to you. But we as Americans, I think, need to invest heavily in America, into a lot of that type of expanding entrepreneurship here in America. I think we need to put a lot of emphasis on that type of stuff, and not a political discussion. I want that to make that very, very clear. But I think that if we in America want to maintain the quality of life that we currently have, or have that get better, I think that we need to invest here in America. I think that matters tremendously. Um, and so just check out some of that content by Ray Dalio. I think it's really, really great content, especially if you care to understand sort of the macro picture of everything. Give you that bigger picture view, and see what some of these hedge fund people are actually thinking, when they make some of the investments that they make, and some of the concepts behind it, and as well as what might be going through the head of people in Congress, or the House of Representatives, or any of those other branches of government. What might be going through their head as they create some of these economic policies that impact us so heavily. So I really recommend giving Principles by Ray Dalio. I'm not sponsored or anything like that, but there's just some content there that will introduce you to a much broader worldview. Yeah, small businesses need more help than huge corporations. That's absolutely true, but when it comes to small businesses, I think like when it comes to a lot of major corporations, huge corporations, very few of them innovate. Like they do very little. Uh, the fascinating part is how they're capable of sucking up a lot of the customers and the money, and that's because of brand recognition. It's not necessarily like it's not because of messaging. It's because of brand recognition. It's because of an omnipresence. And people are like, well, I see this brand everywhere. If you see a brand everywhere long enough, um, just speaking from my marketing days, um, if you see a brand and recognize a brand long enough, you'll begin to develop an unconscious level of trust for that brand, even if you know nothing about that brand. Even if all you ever see is their billboards or their ads everywhere, you'll develop an unknowing consciousness of trust around this because it's not real trust. It's playing off of what trust plays off of inside of our brains. It's a psychological component that is based in familiarity, and that familiarity is translated to trust. Kind of like how you can trick your body into thinking it's not hungry if you drink water. So you can like drink water or juice or something like that, and it might make your stomach stop growling. So it's kind of like the same type of reaction, but it's just going on in your brain. And so that's one way that a lot of these huge corporations suck up a lot of customer base is through omnipresence of their brand. And I think small businesses have an opportunity with the internet to be able to compete with larger corporations if they're able to create an omnipresent, I almost said omnipotent, omnipresent brand presence. Omnipresent brand presence. Yeah, that'll work. It means what I mean it to mean, so that'll work. And so I think that small businesses can really compete a lot in that space. I think that one of the biggest challenges with small businesses too is that a lot of the time it is an entrepreneur who is a one person doing just about everything. So there's that element. And the other aspect is, which can lead to burnout very quickly. The other aspect that they run into obviously is capital restrictions. And then the other aspect is the lack of teams. So lack of people that are rallied behind their vision, but great marketing and great messaging, in particular the messaging aspect of things, because messaging creates audience and fan base that can create longer term clients, which creates stronger revenue streams, which can translate into the ability to have teams, better marketing and better messaging, or I should say more consistent messaging. That if you notice, a lot of major corporations, they will switch up their messaging to go with whatever the current culture is in. Whatever the current culture is infatuated on, that's where those companies will shift up their messaging to and be like, oh yeah, we care about that thing. We do. We swear we do. So I think that the other thing that small businesses have the capability of going towards is that they can operate with more principles than larger corporations. And I say that because often larger corporations have a much larger board of directors. That's what I'm looking for. And then they also have shareholders, and so they have to often meet what the shareholders are interested in, or what the shareholders are focused on. So whether that is corporate governance or impact or any other certain thing that the shareholders care about that week. And I say that week because it's very, very, very easy to influence what shareholders care about by simply having a crying person on social media. A crying person on social media can move markets. And I say a crying person on social media because it literally is. I've actually seen real tactical crying on social media in order to shift hearts and minds around a particular topic so that corporate governance will shift in order to match whatever that messaging is. But I'm going off on a tangent here, partly because I geek out about this stuff. I really, really do. I geek out a lot about the psychology of messaging and all of those different things because that really was my industry for a long time, and it can be hard to innovate without money. I know firsthand on this. I know personally from personal experience how difficult it can be to innovate with little money. Um, and the thing is that the internet provides an opportunity there because, and I again, I know this firsthand from personal experience. The internet provides an opportunity to be able to scale for small businesses and to innovate for small businesses because you can do a lot without money. It is amazing. Like the internet that we have in America is freaking amazing. With as many restrictions as we do have on the internet here, we have far less restrictions on the internet in America than most countries do. And if like I've visited other countries and like America, dude, we got it good. Like we got it good, dude. Like we have it so freaking good here. Like y'all don't even know, man. Like if you've never been like to a third world country, like man, like it is a completely eye-opening experience. If you've ever been to countries where they're developing or they're like sort of underdeveloped or their network systems are underdeveloped, dude, America has it good. Like, dude, we have it so good here, man. Like, get grateful and get grateful fast about what we have here because like a lot of the world just doesn't have access to this type of stuff. And a lot of the world, their internet is locked down like pretty heavily, and they've got to become technologically resourceful in order to access certain websites, in order to access Google. They've got to become technologically resourceful. They have to hide their IP address. They've got to which one could argue could be done through a VPN, but what happens when the VPN is being monitored? So they have to get pretty technologically savvy in order to be able to access information that we have ready access to here in America. Information like what our politicians are doing, or like what policies are coming down the pipeline, or what the economies are doing in different countries, or just information to different political viewpoints. All of those things in a lot of different countries is heavily locked down. So, dude, we got it good here in America for right now, and I think that small businesses, entrepreneurs, or would-be entrepreneurs can utilize that accessibility of knowledge to their advantage if they can recognize that they have one of the most unique opportunities in history of all time. There's never been a time on the history of humankind where information has been as readily available as it is right now. And what do the vast majority of humans spend their time on when it comes to the internet? Scrolling social media videos, watching somebody cry in a corner, talk about how they're sensitive to a person living 5 countries away from them, how that they disagree with that person's viewpoint, and that made them weep for the world. That's what a lot of America is spending their internet time on. So we have, I think small businesses have a unique opportunity, and they have an edge if they can get resourceful. So that's all I'm going to say on that. I know it's kind of a long rant, but like I said, I geek out heavily about this stuff. This is where my mind goes a lot. So yeah, I wouldn't want to live anywhere else because I've been other places. And my wife is an immigrant. And she's like, man, she's like, she's like, I love America. That's the words straight out of her mouth. She's like, I love America. She's like, because I've been to my homeland. Like, I've gone and visited, like, as a kid. I saw people like that were disabled crawling on the sidewalk to get to where they need to go. And I'm like, yo, that's intense. She's like, here, like, you know, there's a level of dignity. They'll at least like try to get you a wheelchair or something. Like, and a lot of that is provided by the state here. Like, it's provided by the, you know, taxes, pays for stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of places don't got that, you know. Or she's like, when I was there, I saw somebody get, you know, hit by a car and nobody stopped. They just kept on driving. Everybody just kept on driving, and people just kept running them over. And so she's like, so I love what we have here, because it's just not, I mean, you get a lot here that you don't get other places. That stuff that we just never think about, that we very much take for granted. Enjoying the bid here. Going for 3 contracts. I'm gonna bump this up slightly. All right, we're in at 48 and a quarter. Ah, dude, don't drop on me. Wow, I actually moved up my bases too. That's a pretty heavy rejection. I think I need to cut this. Wow, I totally need to cut that. Don't go red on the day. Come on. Wow. I should have waited for the full cross. Entry's at 48 and a quarter. Intended exit is at 50. But I think that's just, it's wow. Wow. Come on now. We were so green. I'm just gonna put this at 48.50 and hope to get out with a little micro profit, which is right there at the 50 EMA. That was not a good trade. I'm gonna go for 2 ticks on this, because I do see it coming back some. I was originally gonna try to get out at 50, which was 7 ticks. I was looking for just a little pop right there, but just rejected so heavily and so fast. Currently down 150 bucks in this trade, and 9's below 12. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and shut down the stream right here, actually, just because we're actually at our time limit on the day. So thanks so much for being here, y'all. Make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. And we'll see you guys on Monday, 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 market time. I'll update y'all in the Discord community on the results of this trade. Peace out, y'all.